This is Radio Taiwan International.
Welcome to the news on Radio Taiwan International. I'm Amanda Stevens, coming to you from Taipei, Taiwan. We begin with a look at today's top stories for Tuesday, June 24th. The U.S. House of Representatives passes an act in support of Taiwan rejoining the IMF. China should replace ridicule with meaningful dialogue, according to the Mainland Affairs Council. And Brunei grants visa-free entry to Taiwanese passport holders. But first, today's top story. The Foreign Affairs Ministry thanked the U.S. House of Representatives on Tuesday for passing the Taiwan Non-Discrimination Act without objection. The act was hailed by the ministry as a positive act of international support, highlighting Taiwan's importance as a global partner. The Foreign Ministry said the passing of the Taiwan Non-Discrimination Act demonstrates the firm bipartisan support from members of the U.S. House for Taiwan's participation in international organizations, while also highlighting Taiwan's position in economic resilience and global partnerships. Foreign Ministry spokesperson Xiao Guangwei notably called it a positive counterbalance to China's pressure on Taiwan, saying,
"This bill holds positive significance for supporting Taiwan's expanded international participation and countering China's pressure on Taiwan."
The ministry said it will continue following relevant developments and closely cooperating with friends in the U.S. Congress and executive branch to enhance this positive momentum for Taiwan's international participation. The Taiwan Non-Discrimination Act must still be passed by the Senate before it can be sent to the White House for signature and implementation or veto. After China's Taiwan Affairs Office's strong response to the first of President Lai Ching-te's 10 talks on the country, Taiwan's Mainland Affairs Council, or MAC, called for meaningful dialogue to replace, quote, malicious attacks, end quote, and for the Chinese Communist Party, or CCP, to face up to the historical realities represented in Lai's speech. The MAC responded to the Taiwan Affairs Office Monday evening, emphasizing the truth in Lai's speech that the People's Republic of China, or the PRC, has never ruled Taiwan for even a single day. They pointed out how the Republic of China, the ROC, was established in 1912, while the PRC was only established in 1949. The MAC also discussed the ROC's participation in World War II, with both military and civilian forces fighting until eventual victory in the War of Resistance against Japan. Reiterating their position from May 8th, the MAC said that when the 1943 Cairo Declaration and the 1945 Potsdam Proclamation were signed, the PRC was not yet established. They reiterated that UN Resolution 2758 did not mention Taiwan, let alone give the PRC the authority to represent Taiwan in the UN. The MAC says that the CCP's One China principle is based on a total distortion of historical facts, and therefore cannot be accepted by either the international community or the Taiwanese people. Finally, the MAC stated that the government's cross-strait policy position is consistent, not humble or arrogant, and maintains the status quo. In the face of the CCP's continued and increasing pressure on Taiwan, including United Front infiltration, President Lai proposed 17 response strategies and related policy statements to safeguard Taiwan's sovereignty and democratic and free lifestyle. The Brunei government has announced that Taiwan passport holders can enter Brunei without a visa. The new policy takes effect immediately. Foreign Minister Lin Jialong described Brunei's move as a significant show of encouragement and affirmation for Taiwan's diplomatic efforts, following 1 year of implementing the Ministry of Foreign Affairs' comprehensive diplomacy policy. Lin noted that Taiwan has long promoted reciprocal exchanges with goodwill and sincerity toward Southeast Asian countries. He emphasized that Taiwan has now received many positive responses from the 3 countries participating in the new Southbound Policy's Visa Waiver Pilot Program: Thailand, the Philippines, and Brunei. All 3 have successfully implemented reciprocal visa-free arrangements. Lin expressed his gratitude to the governments and diplomatic teams of both Taiwan and Brunei for their continued communication and efforts. He welcomed Brunei's pragmatic approach, which he said reflects a sincere intention to strengthen bilateral ties. Lin added that he believes this policy will further promote exchanges and cooperation in trade, tourism, culture, and education, helping to raise Taiwan-Brunei relations to a new level. President Lai Ching-te attended an awards ceremony hosted by the Education Ministry on Tuesday to recognize individuals and organizations that have made significant contributions to anti-drug efforts this year. In his speech, Lai said that after taking office, his administration set up a committee to build a healthy Taiwan, with drug prevention as a key part of protecting public health. He thanked the unsung heroes for their efforts in safeguarding the nation and expressed hope that the public will come together with a shared commitment to rejecting drugs, helping people live healthier lives, and making the country stronger. Lai also noted that the government will continue to improve the efficiency of drug investigations and enforcement, strengthen early intervention for high-risk groups, and increase support for addiction rehabilitation to help individuals rebuild their lives.
First, we will continue to strengthen efforts to intercept and investigate drug sources, preventing drugs from entering communities and schools. Second, we must deepen prevention education, especially through early intervention for adolescents and high-risk groups. Third, we will improve addiction treatment resources and promote scientifically proven methods of therapy. Fourth, we aim to establish seamless reintegration support so that individuals recovering from addiction can return to society and rebuild their lives.
Premier Zhuo Rongtai added that criminal groups are constantly evolving their methods and products, with e-cigarettes and heated tobacco products recently becoming new channels for drug distribution. He stressed that the fight against drugs is ongoing and the government will not back down. Education Minister Zheng Yingyao said that the Education Ministry will keep promoting drug prevention and work to reduce students' exposure to drugs through education and screening. He added that the ministry will collaborate with local governments and community centers to organize anti-drug events and raise public awareness about substance abuse. He expressed the hope that these efforts will lead to safer, more resilient campuses and communities. Taiwan will hold a national referendum on August 23rd to decide whether to restart the Ma'anshan nuclear power plant, also known as Nuclear Power Plant No. 3. The proposal has renewed debate over nuclear safety. Speaking at a forum organized by anti-nuclear groups, National Taiwan University honorary professor Chen Wen-san said that based on years of geological research, it can be seen that the Hengteng Fault runs directly through the Ma'anshan plant site, just 900 meters from the core reactor area. He says that the fault, classified as an active fault, last moved about 3,000 years ago and could shift again. He also warned that the site lies on unstable bedrock. These two issues mean that the site would be disqualified for nuclear development by most developed countries. Chen adds that the 70% chance of a magnitude 8.5 quake in the South China Sea 10 years ago has now increased to an 80% chance, meaning that the risks at the site will only grow. Former National Central University geology professor Li Shiti echoes Chen's concerns, saying that the plant's current seismic activity rating falls short of what would be required to withstand a major quake. Other experts have also raised questions about the plant's safety. Citizens Association for Public Policy's director Wang Shoucheng criticizes the original construction of the plant and says that there is a need for a full reassessment of its safety. Taiwan Environmental Protection Union Chair Xie Zhichang also suggests that the government's Nuclear Safety Commission adopt international safety standards, such as those of the International Atomic Energy Agency, or IAEA, and the United States and Japan. He calls for comprehensive surveys and evaluations before any restart, including restrictions on building near active faults and expanded assessments of fault zones within a 30-kilometer radius. The priority seat, known in Taiwan as the Bo'aizuo or compassion seats, is officially getting a new name. But is it enough to end disputes that frequently occur over the seats?
The priority seat, known in Taiwan as the Bo'aizuo or compassion seats, is officially getting a new name. On Sunday, lawmakers passed an amendment to rename these seats Youxianxi, which more directly translates to priority seats. They also plan to remove the language that explicitly prioritizes the elderly, weak, women and children. Instead, it will say the seats are for people with actual need. The move comes after years of public arguments and viral videos of passengers getting scolded, even when they had valid reasons to sit. In some cases, people who gave up their seats were still yelled at, and others were accused unfairly. Despite good intentions, the seats have become flashpoints on buses and metro trains. Under the changes, the percentage of seats reserved for priority use will stay the same at 15%, but officials hope the new wording will shift public attitudes. Lawmakers say the goal is to make the seats less about age or appearance and more about recognizing real need. Whether the latest name changes behavior remains to be seen, but one thing's for sure, kindness and consideration can't be legislated. Amber Hatfield for RTI News.
Thanks for joining me for the news. I'm Amanda Stevens. Stay tuned for another 50 minutes of English language features, brought to you by Radio Taiwan International.